All right. Well, we are live now. We had a few technical difficulties, literally in the minutes leading up to this. So always a fun time. Can you select on that or see if it pulls up?
Once it pulls up, it will.
Okay, cool. So there's a little bit of lag. All right. So welcome, Levi Lascsak here, and we've got a few people in the background in the waiting room. So thank you for joining us on the live stream. Here, I will bring you up here in a minute. I just wanted to cover a few topics, especially on the free versus paid type of marketing and why YouTube is such a great platform for generating free business. Now, typically, if anybody has ever paid for online marketing or advertising before, you know that can be very costly. Now, 87% of the agents fail out of the business within the first 2 years. And when they say fail, do not renew a real estate license. And why is that? Most of the time, it's not because of, not because they're not good people. It's not because they're not good agents. It's usually because they're not that effective at lead generation. And depending on friends and family, it is typically not enough, sphere of influence. I mean, yes, people have been very successful doing that, but a majority of people struggle with generating business, and most of the time they come in without a lot of money. They say the average real estate agent gets into the business with less than $5,000 to their name. So that means you're very limited on resources when it comes to cash, which is another reason why people typically lean towards free marketing, which is their time, energy, and effort. And so that's why they get into cold calling and door knocking and calling FSBOs and calling expireds and working the sphere of influence, because that takes their time versus costing them money. Now, if you try to spend money on advertising, again, most agents coming in with less than $5,000 to their name means that they have a very limited budget. And I can just speak from experience that if you don't have a significant amount of budget, then it's very hard to even gain momentum with paid advertising because of the paid advertising. Because of the paid advertising, I mean, you really have to be consistent. Just like with anything in business, you have to be consistent to be able to generate a significant, lead or quality of leads from that. So a couple of $1,000, you would have to be very, very strategic on what you spend that money on. Now, a lot of people are defaulting right now to Facebook ads, or maybe even TikTok ads, which can be very effective. Now, what we've discussed in previous trainings is, the difference between interruption and intentional based marketing. Well, you also want to think about interruption versus intentional based platforms. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. These are interruption platforms whenever it comes to advertising, meaning that, at least in our industry, typically people are not going to those platforms to search real estate. As far as I know, most people don't say, hey, honey, it's time to buy a house. Let's go to Facebook and see what's on the market. Or, hey, honey, it's time to buy a house. Let's go to Instagram and see if we can find an agent posting market reports. Or, hey, honey, it's time to buy a house. Let's go to TikTok and see if we can find the best dancing real estate agent. Now, I poke fun, and trust me, I have several friends that are successful on those platforms, but that's typically not the mindset of the consumer when they're searching for real estate, is to go to those platforms for real estate information. Now, you can target people with ads. However, because they're not necessarily in the market, that becomes an interruption type of advertising. So they're scrolling on their feed, they're checking in on what their friends and their family, and what did people eat for lunch today, or they're watching cat videos, whatever it is they're consuming. They're not necessarily in the market. So they'll see a real estate ad, and even though they may be interested or intrigued or click on it, now Facebook has some pretty good ad strategies to where it can capture information very quickly, even if people just kind of click here or there. And so, then you can easily collect a lot of leads from paid advertising. But again, very low conversion rates that we see from Facebook right now. They say on average it's a 1% conversion rate, and that usually takes about 9 months on average as well. Now, I know of people that have paid for Facebook leads and have turned over business within 30 to 60 days. So it can happen. But at the same time, after 60 to 90 days, they usually have 300 to 400 leads because they will get a lot of submissions. A $10 a day budget could generate, anywhere between 50 to 100 leads per month. But because of the 1%, turnover ratio or the conversion ratio, it's typically from the fact that it's just very hard to convert those, and even though it can happen. So with that, it's just a matter of working through that. You may have to make 100 calls to get one person that is interested from, to moving forward in that buying process. Now, if we look at something, and then also these platforms are typically pay to play. They want you to pay to promote even your post. So the thing is that on average right now, Facebook only reaches about less than 5% of your audience when you post something. So that's whenever, you post something and you ask your mom, hey, did you see my post last night? Or didn't you see my post? I was just talking about this last night on Facebook. It's not necessarily everybody captures that because, because it's not getting even pushed out to your own audience. So Facebook wants you to pay to push that out. And also, that if you do post something, and this is the case on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, that typically within about 24 to 48 hours, that post is probably reached the amount of people it's going to reach. So, on Instagram and TikTok, yes, you can reach quite a few people if you get some virality or you get a lot of views within the first 24 to 48 hours. But mostly after that point, it doesn't really go anywhere. As far as I know, not a lot of people go to other people's Facebook profiles and search their history or try to see what they posted a year ago, or can actually even specifically search certain content. Like if somebody was going to your Facebook page to look up real estate, would they be able to find what they're looking for? Could they search Keller, Texas, or Plano, Texas, or Frisco, Texas on your Facebook profile to find an older video that you might have published on Frisco, Texas? Not likely. Well, because Facebook's not a search engine. And if somebody goes to your profile on Instagram, they're not going to be able to search the Instagram. They can go to the search tab and maybe search Frisco, Texas, but they're going to get a lot of different things pop up on that feed. Now, with YouTube is really, I believe, the most content creator friendly platform out there. Their whole goal is time on platform. They want people to stay on the platform as long as possible, and they want to recommend videos that people will watch. And last year, our channel, YouTube gave us 9 million impressions for free last year. So that means our videos were placed in front of 9 million people in a 1-year time frame. That's a lot of people. Think about that. That's twice the population of Dallas alone. So that means we reached more than twice the people that we're actually trying to even market to here in this market, which is absolutely amazing. But YouTube counts an impression if somebody sees your thumbnail on their screen, whatever screen they're on, for longer than 1 second. So they don't count the people that are just sitting there scrolling all the way through, and just blow past your thumbnail. But if they actually stop, or the screen scroll stops, or if they open up their homepage, or as soon as they log on, and you're one of the thumbnails on there, they know that your eyes can scan accordingly. And the fact that, you can process those images in less than 0.7 of a second, that gives your mind plenty of time to determine whether or not you want to actually choose to watch that video. And so, now if people are actually in the mood or searching for real estate content, and your thumbnails, which are extremely important, will capture people's attention. You always want to think about the thumbnail first, because visually speaking, that's always the first thing people are going to see. They look at the thumbnail, then they likely read the title to make sure that the title applies to what it is that they want to watch. So the thumbnail is going to capture their attention, but at the same time, the title is what's going to tell them if they want to actually click and then watch the video from there. But YouTube giving us all those impressions, 9 million, which we've almost already reached that halfway through this year already. Actually, one of our last videos that we just published has almost reached 1 million impressions just on its own. So think about that. If we were to market a property or to promote a video any other way, how could you get in front of 1 million people very quickly? And we've done that inside of 2 weeks. So that's pretty significant. But ultimately, YouTube wants to promote content that it believes the audience will likely watch, period. So the thing is if somebody shows a consistent history of watching real estate videos, or Dallas real estate videos, or Denver real estate videos, then they're going to continually feed that. May not always be your videos, but you'll have a good mix in there. And we know this is the case as well because we've all made the mistake of watching one stupid cat video on YouTube, and then all of a sudden that's what we see in our feed for the next 2, 3, 4, or 5 weeks sometimes. So they want to promote that, but ultimately they're pushing out your content for you. And this is why you get bottom of funnel leads from YouTube, is because I believe it's because people search and find your videos on their own. I mean, of course, YouTube kind of helps that, but as long as you've optimized everything correctly and have done the SEO on the back end, then you're more likely to show up in the search results. So when somebody searches and your videos pop up, that's organic to that person. And so they're thinking, oh, this is probably the best fit for me. I'm going to watch this video. They choose to watch that video on their own. Then if they choose to watch a second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth video, they're doing that on their own as well. So as they do that, they're moving themselves through the sales process, through the sales funnel, through the client journey, whatever it is you want to call it, they're walking themselves through that process. And so from that standpoint, as they consume multiple videos, then they become familiar with you. And that's what they call middle of funnel, because now they're starting to know, like, and trust you. They're starting to develop a relationship with you, and they're starting to get more familiar. And then once they reach out, when they make that phone call, they've moved themselves to the bottom of the funnel. So they've taken themselves through the entire process at no cost to you and on their own. So they're completely bought in because they feel like they've done it themselves. So that's very powerful to do that because, once they call us, they've already made the decision that they want to work with us. And whenever people have made that decision, they want to work with us, that pretty much removes all the selling, from us on our part. We don't have to really convince them to work with us or why we're the best agents for the team to help them out, because they've already made that determination through the videos and the content that they've watched. So that's the really cool thing about with utilizing a free strategy through YouTube now, because you're going to attract a much more qualified client. And we know this because also we're testing right now with a couple of paid strategies, but a lot of people like local service ads or pay-per-click ads or anything like that. I mean, that is an ad shown to somebody immediately when they're searching. Now, could that be a motivated buyer seller? Yes. But there's still no relationship built there either. So that's the other aspect of it whenever paying for ads on these other platforms like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, where a lot of times, if you've ever called through Facebook leads, most of the time they don't know who you are anyways. They say, wait, who is this? What did I click on? What was this in regards to? A lot of time they're just satisfying their own curiosity by clicking on these real estate ads, or they think they're going to see the inside of a home, or they find it interesting. So, a lot of times, even once you would reach out to them, then they're still not really have an understanding of who they're speaking to. And so that standpoint, you have to give them a call. Now, the cool thing about Google PPC or even local service ads is they're calling in and getting directly in touch with somebody, but still, you still have to establish a relationship and build rapport and establish credibility, which is the other aspect of what we talked about, pursuit versus attraction. That's the whole reason why a lot of people not only just fell out of real estate, but fell out of sales in general, is because they have to pursue people and they get involved in a rejection business. I hear people talk about this all the time is, hey, we're in a rejection business, right? You have to get through 9 no's to get to 1 yes. Well, I mean, that's just not the case in our business. We don't really get any no's. We don't get calls of people that don't want to work with us. And the people that don't want to work with us, we don't know about it because they don't call us. And so we're not chasing after people or pursuing them or calling them. So therefore, we don't really work in a rejection-based business because we just create the content, provide the value, and wait for the business to come in and reach out to us. And again, once they've done that, they've already taken themselves through the entire process. They've already built the relationship and they, want to do business with us. But other than that, to me, YouTube is the best platform out there, because think about this, to get in front of 9 million people last year, if you would have paid a penny per impression, which that's typically what you pay for when you do any type of online marketing, is if you pay a penny per impression on any platform, that would have cost you $90,000 to get in front of that same 9 million people. Now, that probably would have been a ton of leads that you would have gotten in and would have had to sift through. Now, that's the other great thing about YouTube is we don't have a lead capture system, because we could probably put out free reports or free guides or download this or give us that for your phone number or email. But what happens is that we would collect a lot of data, and who knows, we could probably test it for a month and see if we could convert some of those people. But the thing is that if they may just want that free download, they may just want that free report. They may not be in the market for another 3, 6, or 9 months. And so if we give them something to download, capture their information, and then call them, now we've entered into pursuit marketing. And if that's a position that we don't want to be in either. Now, the thing is that we may end up seeing the same numbers if we go into pursuit mode as we would see with other online marketing, statistics, which is we have to go through 9 no's to get to a yes, possibly. As to where, what if we just didn't have the 9 no's at all, and only that one yes called us whenever they're ready to make a move? Now, that also leads into our average contact under contract is around 45 days. And because we wait for people to call us whenever they call us, they're very close to their buying window. Now clearly we've had people that take a little bit longer than that. But again, our average for our client base, which we've already closed well over 100 homes just in 2022, halfway through the year, has still averaged 45 days contact to under contract. So that means they're making moves quickly. They're very intentional. They're calling us when they're ready to make the decision and to commit. And that's the great thing as well, is we're not spending 2, 3, 4 months, first of all, following up with them, chasing them down, sending out information, staying in touch, trying to, who knows, we could end up ruining that relationship versus strengthening it over that time. So when we just wait for people to call us, it's a much better way, in our opinion, to do business. And it works well for us because, again, people move very quickly. They're in the buying process. They're in the decision that they've already made to work with us. And so it's a lot easier transition to do that. So those are some of the things that I like to cover on why YouTube, I believe, is the best platform out there for creators as far as creating content and getting it out there in front of the most amount of people. On top of that, YouTube has a revenue share program. So they actually share the ad revenue with us. And last year we made a little bit over $4,000 just from the ad revenue that they shared with us. We didn't have to do anything special except, monetize our channel, get the correct amount of watch hours and subscribers to do that. This year we're well over that already. So we'll, double, possibly triple that ad revenue. Now that's not a goal of ours. The only goal we have is to make the phone ring, period. So we're not really concerned about the ad revenue, but what other platforms, I believe I heard TikTok may start testing this, but no other platform, as far as I know, has a revenue share model that actually shares ad revenue with you. So, the thing is that YouTube's going to play ads regardless. Even if you have ads turned off, once you become monetized and you turn ads off on your channel, that just means you're turning them off for you to be able to collect money. It doesn't mean YouTube's not going to continue to run them. They will run them at least at the beginning and the middle of your videos. So you do want to control those aspects of ads, how they play into it, and you might as well get paid on the front and the back end. Now we turn off the ads in the middle of our channel because we want, once somebody starts to watch our video, we want them to have an uninterrupted viewer experience through that channel. We're not worried about making the extra $10 we may make off of that video, even though it could add up. But again, 4,000 last year, we could sell one home and make double or triple that versus trying to capitalize off of ad revenue. So if we throw in 2 or 3 ads in the middle of a video and it disrupts their viewing experience and we lose them because of that, and we may not necessarily lose them. And if the people are dialed in and researching, maybe they'll put up with it. But I think if they run into it too many times, it'll probably be a turnoff for them. And so, we've had several people tell us that they binge watch our channel, binge watch the videos. And I think that makes it a lot easier for them to do that, is to just run through the whole video. Now, I think everybody's accustomed to, when they start a video or at the end that it plays an ad, because YouTube's going to do that regardless, unless they click on one of your playlists. Now, if they click on one of your playlist, that is a loop in there to feed all of your videos right in a row to that person without any ads or any other suggested videos. So they're not going to suggest another creator's video or another real estate agent's video. If they get looped into your playlist, however many you have in there, it could be 10, 20, or 30 different videos. It'll play the entire playlist ad-free and without any, other suggested videos. So it'll just run through there. So that's the advantage of doing that. So let's see here. Let's see if we can get this to work now. And we'll bring in a few people. I see we got a few people in the background. Well, pop in. Oh, I probably should have warned you first. What's up, Chrissy? How are you? You have to come off of mute, though.
I know. You'd think I'd figure this out after a few calls.
Yeah. So first of all, how is the internet? How is the video feed? This
Lots better. Last time it was a little sketchy, but today it's looking good. So.
All right, good. Well, I just wore a colorful shirt just in case I might confuse the internet even more to give it too much to work on. So let's see here. I'm just going to go in order of what I see down here. Let's see if we can bring in. I guess I'll give some warning. Sandy, I don't see anybody in your office, so you might have stepped away. Robert, I don't see a camera on you. Carlos, I see you. Give me a thumbs up, Carlos, if you're ready. You're ready to jump in. All right, let's go. Let's bring in Carlos here and see what's up, my man. Tell us where you're from and what we can help you out with today.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, good, man. How are you?
Perfect. No, I just jumped on first call. I just joined the group, the program this last week. So first call for me, and that's it. Just want to learn. I mean, I've been posting, YouTube stuff inconsistently, of course, but I'm just, I want to learn to do it the right way. This is working for you guys.
Okay. Well, good. You got into the Facebook group, or did you get the course?
No, I just joined the course Facebook group last week. So it's
okay.
First time everything for me right now with your program.
Awesome. Well, I mean, ideally, the course is going to walk you through everything you need to know. So what we recommend is just run through that 100% first on there, because likely you'll get your questions answered one way or another. If not, then definitely come back to us in the Facebook group. We host these each week as well. So you can jump on here and ask questions. And then also inside the course, you'll see there's a weekly call just for course support. So that is something you can jump on. But ideally, if you just got started, I'd say it should be lined out. Actually, we're finishing up editing all the new modules. So I wouldn't say wait. I would still want to run through that, but we're going to upload all new modules here within the next day or two. We're just kind of putting the finishing touches on there. So basically, you're about to get a brand new course, with a lot of updates. So just keep an eye out for that.
Perfect. Do you mind if I ask a question?
Yeah, no, go for it. Yes, that's what we're here for.
Yeah. So it seems like, because I already got started in the modules, and then of course I've seen some of your material on YouTube, and then even in your conversation earlier today, just right now, this morning, it seems to me that a lot of your conversation is buying based conversation. I'm wondering, there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, it's cool. I do a lot of buyers too, but of course we all want to be listing driven. So I'm wondering what your approach and system has giving you percentage wise between buyers and sellers.
Yeah, sure. Can I ask you first why you want to be listing driven?
No, in 18 years, man, day one, my broker said, yeah, you gotta get listings. And then how do I get listings? Well, get after expireds and go to Mike Ferry. And so then I did all that. And it worked for me for a long time. So then, month one, I was in coaching with Mike Ferry, and it's all driven, listing driven, and expireds and FISBOs and so on and so forth. I think we all know those basics. And so then it's been like that for me forever, And so then I think I got better with listings. And I wasn't really that good with buyers necessarily. Open houses never really worked for me. And when I got buyers, sometimes I couldn't really put them in properties for some reason. So it's just, I don't know, it's just, maybe it just got easier, or maybe there's something to tweak,
Right. What market are you in?
I'm in Pasadena, California, Los Angeles, California.
Okay. So I think, definitely it's going to be more buyer heavy in the beginning. I think once you establish the brand and the channel, you're going to get a lot more local traction, just like we're seeing now. Actually, in the updated course, we'll have a listing module in there on how to do that if you want to attract listings through there. So that will be new to it. But ultimately, you have to look at a lot of the times, just kind of like I mentioned earlier, the buyers are completely different, I think, than what most people are used to. Most people are always concerned about local area buyers because, number one, they usually have time and time to kill, and they're very picky, or they end up working with first-time home buyers and their budget is $300,000 and they want to see 75 homes and then not make a decision. So from that standpoint, it can be very time consuming. What we have found from YouTube, and I'm not sure if you caught that earlier, but our average contact to under contract is 45 days, which means these types of clients move very quickly, that we found, mainly, I believe, because they can watch so much content on all the other areas. When they come to us, they'll come to us specifically with 2 or 3 neighborhoods or suburbs narrowed down, because the videos create the value for them to see 10, 20, 30 suburbs throughout Dallas. And it helps them narrow down and say, okay, you know what? That one's not for me. That one's not for me. And they actually get that sense through video, which is very powerful. So I think the content library, as you build that up and as you develop more of the channel, that's what helps bring extremely qualified buyers to you, very intentional. And again, they will watch for 2, 3, 4 months sometimes. And then whenever they're like, okay, I'm ready to make a move in the next 30, 45, 60 days, that's when they reach out, which is why we don't coach a lot to, doing lead captures or, lead magnets or trying to give them free reports to capture their information, because we've had people tell us they've watched our channel for an entire year and then call us and they'll go under contract within a week, just because they are so intentional. Whenever they reach out, it's like they're telling themselves, we're ready to make a move. So whenever they call us, they're like, look, and they also tell us all the time too, we didn't want to bother you 6 months in advance, so that's a great thing. On top of it is, I don't know, because they developed a relationship, I think people grow to like and respect you as well, even though you've never really met them. They value everything that we do for them, and through the video content, they narrow down their areas. They wait until they're ready to make a move. And so that's just been our experience. And we've done well over 200 transactions now through the channel, and it's been extremely consistent on that. So the other aspect of that is I would say, if you don't want to work with buyers, find a very, very good referral partner or bring on a buyer's agent and, give the business out that way. But, that we found that these have been very good clients to work with, and actually moving into this new market that we're shifting into, you might actually want to work with some buyers more as well. But we will have a listing module that'll be uploaded within the next couple of days. So we'll show you how to.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's an amazing answer. I mean, but this is business, right? You could put buyers in properties. People want to buy properties, and still the other side of the transaction is to look at a paycheck anyway. So I don't shy from that. But one of the challenges I've had is that most of the buyers I've gotten, they're just so far. LA County is so vast, so big, and I'm trying to narrow down to my market, to my community. So yeah, thank you for the feedback.
Yeah. Okay, you're welcome. All right, let's see. I'm gonna put you back there. Let's see. Let's go to, if I can really scroll down. Jay, I don't see your camera. Rick, you're the next one with the camera. You got a thumbs up. You ready to come on board? Oh, what's up, Rick? How are you?
Well, I've been a little MIA because we ended up selling our house and moving, and it's been a whirlwind the last couple of months. But I'm ready to get back at it again. And I was just listening to this previous conversation you were having with this guy, and it's amazing how many people I've met just recently that have just moved to the Valley, to Phoenix, because that's where we are. And Chrissy, I wanted to get a hold of you too, so I'm glad you're on there, and I couldn't remember how to get in touch with you.
Oh, it's good to see you again.
Nice to see you too. So anyways, yeah, there's just there's a lot of people moving here, really a lot of quickly. I mean, they're just I just really noticed that. And so I think the YouTube channel is right for right now. Of course, you've had great success with it now for the last year and a half, but I think especially with the market changing and things softening up a little bit, that the buyer pool is only going to get bigger and bigger. So anyways, just excited to get back onto it. And I heard that you're going to upload some more content to the channel. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, we're replacing pretty much all the modules.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. So it'll be all updated, and I shot last Saturday for, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours, and it was good.
Yeah.
I think you'll notice some of those modules I sound really clean and crisp, and then a couple of them I'm like, all right, we're at our next module, So no, it's not that bad, but hey, it was a lot of chit chat, but yeah, we updated quite a bit, and as I told Carlos, we'll have a listing module in there as well.
Yeah, that's great. So Chrissy, how do we get a hold of you? You want to post something, or you want to just reach out, or how do we?
Yeah, I can put the link to schedule some stuff for video editing if that's what you're referring to.
That would be great. Yeah, I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it. Like I was going to send Levi a text, but then I heard about this, so I thought I'd just jump on.
Yeah, I'll just pop that into the chat, and you can just schedule a call there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's all good, guys.
All right. Well, thanks, Rick. Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
I got to head out, but thank you. Yeah, if you would, Chrissy, that'd be great.
Okay.
All righty. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right. Bye. All right. Let's see. What's up, Stephanie? Our good friend Stephanie in Mandeville, Louisiana. How are you doing? Good to hear from you as well. Let's see who we got here. Let's see who else do we have. Allison, are you ready? You want to come? You want to come on?
Hi.
I'm ready. I know she's probably got about 10 to maybe 15 questions she's going to throw out here, I'm sure.
I was like, can I ask a question? And then I went back and put questions so that you knew how to prioritize me. So I was on the YouTube. Did you get my chat from the YouTube or from the duck one?
The duck one, the StreamYard?
Yeah, a StreamYard. Okay. I just see the icon.
Well, hold on. I see. How do I get in line? You're DC Modern Living, right?
Right.
Trying to ask a question.
Okay. I just didn't know which.
You're in line right now.
Okay. I didn't know which platform to be seen. So I'm on the duck one now too. So I have a question about the CRM and like implementing that, and if there's like a demo or something that I could go like learn from, or maybe they have a channel that I can go and get some instruction from.
Yeah, the CRM is high level. So if you YouTube anything on high level, it'll kind of give you the overview. I mean, actually today, I think Travis should be in the office today. We're going to re-record a tutorial on the CRM. Basically, now everything's in there, and there's a module called Systems and Scaling.
I watched everything. So I saw it's just a high level overview of it. And so it's great. I'm familiar. I've been to high level. I've called them, but it's not built out for real estate, and yours is. So I just didn't know if there was one specifically to how yours is built out.
I mean, the one he goes over in the course, I mean, that's pretty much the whole system right there. But we're going to re-record today and again, have that within the next 2 days, just because that's very key. We want to get a lot more in depth on everything we go in there. But ultimately, if you click on the automations tab, on the automations on the left-hand side, you'll see campaigns and triggers up at the top. And that will be where you'll be able to see all the emails, all the text messages, all the campaigns, all the triggers, and that's where you can go in there and start editing. But we'll give you a good overview on that coming up.
Okay, and maybe just on how to, because I use Follow Up Boss right now, and everything is in there. And if I was going to transition to attract ROI, how do I do it? That's the part that's scary for me. And
that I don't know if we could advise you on that, just because unless you can download all the contacts in a CSV file and then upload that into high level. But that might be something I would probably go on YouTube and see if there's a high level or Follow Up Boss conversion, or can I transfer Follow Up Boss, if you want to do that. Now the one thing to do you could also consider is anytime you're transitioning a CRM, I know it would be a pain, but you could always start the main CRM for, just as your YouTube funnel basically, and start working through that. And then, as you make that transition over, again, I'm not really familiar. I know a lot of people use Follow Up Boss, but I haven't used it myself, so I can't speak, intelligently towards it. But however, there's a way to make that transition over time. You could still set up the other one, and track YouTube that way. Kind of jump back and forth during the transition, which I understand is a pain. But, as far as a whole transition, I'm not sure. That I may jump on a couple of YouTube videos to try to figure that out.
Okay. And maybe I can call High Level and ask them, I mean, who do you call for help desk issues with Attract ROI?
Yeah, so that's something we're working on right now as well, because with the account that we have, High Level, I don't know if they provide actual individual support, which is an issue for us, because what we've just discovered is that maybe if I call them because I'm an account owner with them, they might help me out, but that doesn't help anybody that we're helping, right? And so we have to work on getting the right personnel in place to do that. But you can reach out. Chrissy, do we have a way to contact anybody? I don't know. I just want to say, we don't want to be responsible to transition any CRM.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
The main thing is really the
I
CSV file. Yeah, it's just really, it comes down to, as far as like the systems and stuff from the other side, there's going to have to be some type of conversion that happens in a CSV file. But
Right.
I think with Go High Level too, they should have, and usually with CRM systems, they have like a template that you use to import yours into, because you may have different fields or different names for the contacts and like just different fields in your follow-up boss. And so you'll just need to look and make sure that you have like a template from
Like
Go High
people's
Level.
birthdays, the addresses, the phone
Exactly,
number.
because it's going to be, you may have some deviation in names and things like that. So usually they have some type of like template that you can use to import your stuff into. So that would be what I would recommend, is looking to see if you have something like that in Follow-Up Boss, and then also in Go High Level.
Okay. And then I guess the module that you're releasing for Attract ROI will kind of show us like how your campaigns how they flow. Because I have some campaigns in Follow-Up Boss and I don't know how to transition those over. I do have Calendly, and I have like a system for that. I'm in to send them a welcome pack, all those things. So I guess your module will go over your campaigns and how they function, or how we can edit them if we need to.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it, because I don't believe you can transition campaigns from one CRM to another. They're usually, individualized to that CRM. And now High Level encompasses a lot. So, it has Calendly built into it, and, these other integrations, which is why we use that. It's a drag and drop system, but then also, you can have that landing page, and we do have that landing page for people to schedule calls. That template is in there as well. So it's just a matter of customizing it, building it out. Like I said, the main thing is that the main things you have to edit. Well, if you don't like my language, then you would want to change that. But ultimately, all the text and emails are pretty good, but it may say Levi at the end, and you want to put, Allison, or, something like that you just want to switch that stuff out. So there is a ton in there, and it's just a matter of just walking through there. And I understand that's probably not the funnest thing, but we actually built everything out individually, text by text, email by email. And we did that because, every time we experienced a problem or had a gap or something happened, it was like, okay, we need an automatic email, or we need an automatic text, or we need something to inform, so we actually built all that out. But a lot of it's kind of, how I talk with clients, which is like, checking in, saying hello, things like that. It's not a generic format. It's more in my language, how I would speak to people. So that's the thing is that all that baseline will be there.
Well, right.
So
and you built in like the wait times and when to send it, all of that, which is great. And I have a lot too that maybe it'll be helpful to share with the group. I don't know if there's a way to do that. But about the videos. So when you're going out, like I just watched one where you went out and toured. I know it's not. I know that's not what the name was called. It's called like sex. I think it's sexy. Yeah, Saxy. Okay.
Saxy, okay.
And you said that you do your intro last, and then after you do your intro, you do your intro last because you go around. Like, I'm going to show them 3 different price points, depending on, our market. And then you're not going in to show videos, right? And I just want to know, like, if there's, like, what are the steps? Like, step 1 is like, just, find out which houses that you can see. That way you're not working things backwards and realize that your intro didn't match. Does that make sense? Am I phrasing this right?
Well, the step-by-step is probably in the PDF that says video flow. So the
one that gives you all the list of the, like each suburb, that one?
No.
Videos to shoot?
No, video flow.
Video flow.
Yeah, there's that module called video flow for show,
Oh yeah. Okay. Right.
So look underneath that video. There should be a PDF that says video flow blueprint, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. It's video flow blueprint. It's in that module.
And it tells you like how long the intro should be. That one that says your intro will be here. Okay.
Yeah, it says do like hook, intro, call to action. Then it says like house number 1, house number 2, house number, so it walks you through everything. As far as I thought that's what it was doing. Maybe we're missing something.
Well, maybe
it should walk you through how to do the video, but ultimately you watch the neighborhood vlog as well. That should piece it together. So you have the PDF there and you have the video where we, take you out in the neighborhood. So that should.
Why? Hold on one second. And then, but are the steps the same? Like you might have intro at the top, but you do the intro at the end, right? Are the steps to shoot the same? Well,
you can do either way. I mean, you can do the intro. I'm in a proficiency level now where, I don't deviate far from my plan. So I can shoot the intro. I do most things in order. So I do an intro because I just keep things a little bit more generic now, which is, hey, I'm going to take you around, show you I just say a couple of different homes and different price points.
You're grounded. Grounded. Sorry about that.
I am already.
You're already grounded. You're already grounded. I'm sorry. My kid is like passing me notes, like only during these times. Okay, thank you. And then
Alex was passing me notes during
and stop, play Jackson. Just 1 second, please. I'm so sorry, guys. And then I think that's probably about it. The map tours. What exactly should I focus on in the map tours? Like, you want to focus on major streets? Like, for me, would I just show like how to get to DC from there? And exactly what should I focus on? Because I could talk about a lot of things, and I don't know where I should.
I think you focus on what's relevant, what's the best, form of knowledge you can pass on to the person that's interested in knowing, because, people don't understand necessarily, may not understand, okay, DC, it's its own little square or close to a square, right? And then also traffic going in. So, as far as major roadways, yes, these may be the major routes, but maybe you have a better way to get into town if you're going to be commuting. That's the types of things. If you're going to be living, here's where most people tend to live, or they live out here in the suburbs. But in the suburbs over here, if you're trying to get to work by 8 a.m., you're going to be stuck in an hour and a half worth of traffic, so here's a different alternative. Or if you wait till 9, so you want to help people navigate. You're just kind of walking them around on the map, maybe best ways to get in. And really, if you watch any of our map videos on the channel, that you can just watch how I walk people through there. Initially there, I'm showing you how to get through the course, but ultimately, if you look at our channel, you'll see how I just walk people through, whatever suburb I'm talking about, and just, what they might need to know about everything around there, how to get to downtown, how to get to the airport, what's a toll road, what's not a toll road, what's an alternative route, are you going to get stuck going in, going out? Should you wait till 9 a.m. if you're flexible? Are you going to be commuting once or twice a week or all the time? So all those different little tips and tricks that as a resident there, that's what I would cover.
Okay, like and I've been watching some other people that are taking your course or have already posted videos to kind of like study what they're doing too and try to figure out what's important. But I didn't know if you just Okay, I'll go and
Yeah,
study
you
your
just want to
channel.
think about your sharing with your friend. You know, you're sharing a map with them, and you're kind of explaining that area. So DC, let DC be its own map video. Let Alexandria be its own map video. Let whatever other areas Arlington. So whichever areas you want to work, let all those be separate map. But what do I need to know about Arlington? You know, living in, getting to the airport, getting to downtown. Yeah, can I drive 2 hours and see, really cool museum, or something Civil War related, or how do I get to the National Cemetery? So and what happens is that typically becomes a rinse and repeat for each of the suburbs. So when you go to Arlington. We said Alexandria. Yeah. When you go to Alexandria, it's pretty much the same thing, except you're just showing people how to navigate from Alexandria. So how do they get to the airport? How do they get to downtown? How do they get to the National Cemetery? How do they get to a really cool museum over here? How do they get to Whole Foods? How do they get to whatever?
Where's the metro? How far can you walk to the metro? Things like that.
If you don't want to commute, okay, great point. So I'm not even thinking about that because we don't have subways in Dallas, right? So or a really extensive train system. So that's something else. I wouldn't know that or think about that necessarily moving to the area. So if I'm moving to Alexandria and I'm like, well, shoot, how do I not get stuck in traffic 2 hours each way every single day? And you say, well, look, you just drive over here to the train station, park your car, boom, and you got a 30-minute train ride in,
Door to door. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So perfect. So what is somebody completely oblivious to your area not know about living in Alexandria, living in Arlington, living actually in DC, living in, I don't know if people commute from Baltimore or whatever, I don't know, whatever else is close by there. So, just the areas that you want to work, just help people navigate that and think about if they're
where to shop, where to eat, like good restaurants and little towns. And you talk a lot about talking about things from like your opinion, like what you like to do. Sorry, This is the last question, I promise. And when we talk about schools, should we stray away from talking about our opinions of schools because we're realtors, or is this channel to help people that are also, I'm not representing them, so I'm not steering them one way so that's a little tricky for me because I have my opinions of schools and why they're great and why they're low. They're rated low. A lot of it's just disgruntled parents. And I have recommendations. I just don't know how to talk about it without getting fined. If I would,
well, I would just reference. Actually, we cover this in one of the modules. We talk about just referencing data from other websites. So if it's like what I've said is like, hey, look. Hey, this school is rated a 6 out of 10, but what you may want to do is look at the actual individual ratings that make that up. So, right now there's a lot of reasons. It's not usually academics, like you said, that a school is rated low. It's because of disgruntled parents. It's because of equity. That's the reality of it, right? Like equity, inclusion, or something like that. It's just, and if you're not in a very diverse area, they may rank that school very low because it doesn't have enough diversity. But if the population doesn't exist there, it's like, how are you ever going to, make that equal to give it a 10-star rating? Now, I don't go that much into depth, but I would just say, this school ranks 6 out of 10, but you might want to look into the individual reasons why it's ranked the way it is, if this is an area you're considering moving to. So all I do is I just kind of help people understand that, it is what it is, but if they look in there, they may see the academics are 9s and 10s, but it's disgruntled parents. Yeah,
70% are 70% might be free lunches or something like that.
Yep. Yeah. So something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. All right. And tell Jackson, is that your kid's name?
Yeah, I don't even know what his note is. He went away. Can I go to the water park? What?
Well, no, he can't. He's grounded.
No, he's grounded now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, talk soon. I'm sure. All right.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Well, let's see who else we got. I don't see anybody else's cameras on. Nicole, Susan, Hallie, or Seth. If you have a question, you could either throw it in the chat or turn your camera on so I know you're there. That would be helpful. And let me see. Jennifer, let's see. Who do I reach out to for help naming the channel? I mean, that's really goes into the content research and creation module. I mean, that's something that I think you just want to play around with the words. What do you want it to be? I mean, do you want it to be? I'm not sure what area you're in. So let's say Dallas, Texas. Do you want it to be moving to Dallas, Texas, living, relocating to Dallas, Texas, living in Dallas, Texas? I mean, those are all different types of search terms that you can look at, and you just reword everything. Put words in front of Dallas, Texas, words behind Dallas, Texas. If there's, like I said, I believe we might be directly responsible for 8 new living in Dallas channels popping up. And that's just, it is what it is. There's no exclusivity on YouTube for channel names. So there can be 10, 20, 30 channels named the same. Now, I also do believe in setting yourself apart, but also I would try to do that in a search term format. But ultimately what it comes down to is YouTube does judge every video individually, and that's likely what's going to get searched. Now, what we found is it took us about 1 year for our channel to become a preferred channel on that search. So if you have Dallas, Texas, or relocating to Dallas, Texas, that's the channel name, relocating to Dallas, Texas. What we found is what it took us, like I said, about a year, but because there's so many people, as long as they're typing in relocating and you have enough videos and content and you optimize all of your videos, because we're always putting living in our videos one way or another, that just builds up the SEO and the optimization, behind that. So when somebody actually types that in now on YouTube, we will pop up as a preferred channel. Sometimes even if they just put in Dallas, Texas, which is a huge advantage. Think about somebody wanting to move or live in your area, and they are searching, and then there's a channel that pops up and it says, this channel is all about living in, moving to, and relocating to Dallas, Texas. That's very powerful. So that would be something I would just play around with the words on there and see what gets the highest search results. If you do that, that's probably going to give you the best opportunity to get found. But again, in the beginning, I don't think the channel name weighs that heavily on the results. It really comes down to the individual videos, but the individual videos will build up the SEO and the optimization to make that channel become more searchable. But I just think that takes time. So that would be my recommendation on that. Let's see. What's up, Michael? Does YouTube pixel data like Facebook does? Yeah, they can. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to ask an ads guy on top of that. I know that they have pixels attached to everything. Now, clearly, we don't run ads. We don't run ads to our real estate channel. We are, working on growing and expanding our team. And so we do run some ads for that. And I do know we track all of that, and they have tracking pixels in there. I haven't dug into that specifically, but they do have that capability in there. Absolutely. Let's see. Stephanie, hey. Good to see you again. Excited to be here. Excited to have you. So, all right. Nicole, Susan, Hallie, Seth. Maybe they're just hanging on. If you guys want to come on, pop up your camera so I know you're good to go. Don't want to surprise anybody. If not, I think we had a good session today. What do you think, Chrissy?
Yeah, really great questions. I think we have one last question in the chat, though.
Okay.
Michael asked, have you found more success targeting big cities like Dallas or the surrounding suburbs?
Yeah, well, let's see. We definitely target Dallas, but 95% of our business is in the suburbs. So, I think you want to, you can really niche down to a main suburb if you want, but I think a lot of people, especially for us, people coming to Dallas is still the biggest driver. That's still the biggest search term compared to anything else. So if we can, capture more people in search based on Dallas, Texas, because it's a bigger search term, and then, give them let them see the opportunity that there's more suburbs or suburbs they may have never heard of. Like Allison was saying, what was that? The sexy suburb? No, that's actually Saxy, right? But nobody calls us, unless they've seen our videos saying, hey, I want to move to Saxy. But now that they've seen the video there, they're like, oh, I didn't even know Saxy existed, first of all. And I didn't know Saxy was like that close to Dallas. And so you're giving people opportunity. They're searching Dallas, but then they'll come on our channel. They'll find all the other suburb videos. But again, ultimately, and all of our suburb videos do better than our Dallas neighborhood videos. So, I mean, we've had some pretty significant views on Dallas neighborhoods, but when we feature individual neighborhoods inside of Dallas, they do well over time, and that's good. They don't come out of the gate, or they don't have the amount of views as the suburbs do. Yep. Stephanie says, I'm listening today, looking good in searches. Yes, I noticed that. I mean, I'm seeing that, Stephanie, every time I check time to time, and I check out New Orleans, and your videos are always popping up, even in incognito. Ready for lots of leads. Yes, indeed. I came in very late. What's up, Ajax? Ajax Whitby, real estate agent. Came in very late. Yeah, this is going to be recorded on YouTube. So all you do is just check out. I think usually it takes 10 minutes or so, I believe. And then it processes and uploads on there. All right, Michael, thank you. I'm from Chicago. Just started your training today. You both are, well, thank you, Michael. You're awesome too. By the way, anybody still here, then please hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, but go ahead and hit a thumbs up. That would be awesome as well. Show us some love out there. And okay, yep. And Chrissy says, yes, recording will be on the channel shortly. She's always one step ahead of me. And except when I'm one step ahead now. Serhant, what's up, Seth? Yeah, that's Seth. Have you heard about vidIQ? Yes, we have heard about vidIQ. A lot of people use them, like them. I've never used them. We've always used TubeBuddy. Chrissy, you've used both though, haven't you?
Yeah, and actually on the video editing team, we use a combination of both. Sometimes if we want to find some extra keywords for a really small area, we'll use vidIQ just to get some extra keyword suggestions, but we usually go by TubeBuddy for the final score.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. I've always just used TubeBuddy. And we included a TubeBuddy module in the course as well. So I show you how I use it. And what I use it for. So that's pretty cool. All right. So keep an eye out for that. Yes. If you have access to the course, then you're getting all new updated modules within the next couple of days, and super excited about that. And then, yep, I think that closes it out. So that puts us right at an hour, that's pretty awesome. Oh, there's a private chat on here. Did you see that, Chrissy? The private chat?
I totally missed that. We've got lots of questions on here.
Oh, our new course videos uploaded yet? No. I have a few questions. Let me see. Wow. Well, there's a whole list.
Yeah, we missed quite a bit in here, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't see how. Oh, I guess the people in the background, they can hit it
the ones. Yeah, the ones that we were looking at are the public comments.
Okay. Let me see. Nicole, you want to come up? I see a camera on. Let's bring up Nicole. What's up, Nicole? How you doing?
Hey, how are you all?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful. So I have been doing YouTube now since last July. I don't have a great subscribership, and a lot of my leads have been renter leads, and I'm like, I'll help them to an extent, but I can't waste a lot of time on that. So I was just wondering if you had any tips on how maybe some video ideas that will get me away from the renters, even though they're the ones trying to relocate here, which is my ideal avatar. I don't want to hinder them because I know someday I could convert them, but is there any tips you have for that?
Yeah. What market are you in?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're in a pretty good relocation market, right? I mean,
yes.
I'm surprised you're getting a lot of rental. I mean, I would number one, I'd try to partner with a local apartment company or, rental based leasing company or something like that. I would try to partner with them. Even I mean, I would do a small percentage of referral fee if possible, or you may just be like just somebody to actually take care of the client. Now, if you want, maybe you could refer them over and get a 10% or 25% referral fee. If you wanted to do that, it's usually not a lot, of course, depending on the rental situation. So I would try to find somebody, a reliable partner, before I would worry about getting a referral fee, right? Because ultimately it's just, I mean, it could add up, but someone that can take care of them. And usually they're pretty good. If you have an apartment locating service or a leasing service, they're pretty good about nurturing, but that would be the other aspect of it, is have an understanding that, that they would refer them back to you if they, don't want to renew their lease, first of all, or, second of all, you want to set up your own, reminders or processes to where you reach out at the 6-month mark or the 9-month mark or the 10-month mark, to follow up with them. So, in that initial conversation, I know it's a little time consuming, but if you say, hey, okay, yeah, you're looking for a 1-year lease, or maybe it's a 6-month lease. Okay, well, look, it's not something I handle, but I have a great referral partner in a company that I can get you over to. They'll take complete care of you. And then, is it okay if I stay in touch with you so that when you are ready to buy, we can go out and take a look at some homes? They'll probably say, yeah, absolutely. And so, you just need a good nurture campaign, follow-up campaign, reminder system to do that, and definitely a good locating service that will work with you ideally. And to me, it would be more important to get the client taken care of than earning a referral fee. But if you can accomplish both, then even better, right? And so, and how many videos are you doing per week?
Typically 1.
Okay. I mean, if you really want to step it up and you really want to generate, I mean, if you step it up to, I would say 3 videos a week, if you want to ramp this up, that may seem like a lot, but all you have to do is develop a rhythm and a consistency and, a scheduling opportunity or process to where you can handle that. You're going to step up the lead quality and lead flow. I mean, the more content you put out there, it's just going to speed up the process, And so if you feel like the results so far have not been where you wanted them to be, then I would look at where I could time block and make time to where, okay, how long does it take me to make a video? And if I want to do 3 per week, do I need to record once a week, or do I need to record every other week? Or do I need to record once a month? Where are the times that I can stay consistent, getting that out and getting out that, even 2 or 3 videos per week is just going to increase that opportunity even more. And really just make sure in your messaging that, you're talking to the home buyers. And also even, don't be afraid to mention local home or home sellers or home owners in the area too. So, start using some of that language in there too, but really just kind of focus on mentioning the home buyers. And, we help, people relocate and buy homes it's just something that look at how you can position that a little bit. And otherwise, I would look for a good apartment service company to partner with.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And just to add to that too, like when I have, clients that will come to us and ask us the same questions, and I usually tell them, look at your content. How long has it been since you put out a vlog? Because if you're doing a lot of informational office videos, sometimes that tends to attract a lot of the renters versus if you're actually, boots on the ground showing houses that are obviously for sale, you get a lot more questions surrounding actually home ownership. So I would definitely look at the content first and the type of content you're creating. And then for you, you're in a high relocation area as well. So that also means you're going to have more competition to deal with. So bringing that quantity up will put you in front of those people and kind of put you top of mind for people who are in the search.
Yeah, I think you guys just solidified I need to burn it up and level it up.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. Good to see you, Nicole. All righty. Well, let's see. I'm going to try to run through this real quickly because I had a hard
I think
stop.
the Twilio number question is the only one we really haven't answered.
Okay.
From Jay.
About a local Twilio number. Is it fairly easy to connect with the real CRM? You should be able to buy it inside of the CRM. So if you purchased it outside of Twilio, then yes, you'd have to go through some steps to connect it. But inside of the CRM, which is again why we have to redo that module, because now Twilio is actually built into it to where you go in there and you select a phone number. You basically select, start up your Twilio number, and it'll be automatically linked in there. So maybe they'll give you a refund if you purchased it straight from Twilio, and you can just buy a new local number through the CRM. But we can help you on that, and we'll have that'll be in the modules as well. So, all right. Well, I think that's going to conclude today. Did mostly well without stumbling too much. So thanks for joining us, you all, and we'll see you same time next week, and talk soon.
Bye, everyone.